Our next speaker is Robbie the Fire Bernstein. Robbie is a stand-up comedian. He is host of a show called Run Your Mouth, and he is co-host of Part of the Problem. Please join me in welcoming Robbie the Fire Bernstein.
All right. What's going on, New Jersey? How we doing out here? Hell yeah, it's an honor to be following Mike Heiss. For those that are not familiar, I am actually the king of the caucus. Mike does all the work and I just take all the credit. So we got a good relationship, and I wanted to come out today to oversee my community of libertarian autists merging with the meatheads of New Jersey. I think this is a holy alliance. I think because if we're going to have freedom in the world, people in New Jersey are going to have access to their gyms. That's insanity, right? They're talking about, yeah, absolutely. That is the right of a person who was born in New Jersey, you know? They're talking about that people are going to get sick of COVID. No, they're going to die of natural causes, heart attacks from steroids and rage abuse. Let's be honest. And then like the insanity, like I get it. I live in Connecticut. If people got upset about a gym in Connecticut, I would understand. They're like, hey, I'm trying to shop at the Yellow Bean. They're grunting over here and it looks like a prison yard. I don't want this. But are we really going to go into every state and deprive them of their identity, of their special thing? Like, are we going to go into Brooklyn, tell the Hasidic Jews that they have to start showering now? Are we going to tell them that they can't just waddle around like penguins and overcharge on rent? Are we going to do that? Are we going to go to California and tell them that they can't ruin their own beaches with homeless people? Are we going to go to Texas and tell them they can't go get fat, go to church, get mad about abortions, and eat some barbecue? That's their identity. We're going to go to Florida, tell them they can't do meth, hunt gators, and kill old people? We're not going to do that. See what I'm saying? Every state, you go to the East Village, they turned it into, one big parade of cross-dressers. That's excellent. They should have that area. And Jersey should be the natural habitat of people that want to take steroids and go to the gym. I feel like that is an important identity. It's been earned. I got like 10 more minutes on this. So to highlight how authentic this gym is, first is we have Ian over here, who looks like Gandalf joined the WWE. Your partner's not here. I'm not going to make fun of him because I'm pretty sure he's just Jocko Willink. That's what I think. For those of you guys who don't know who he is, I checked out your website. I loved it. Off the bat, it said a no-nonsense gym for the hardworking beginners and experts alike. We like our music loud, workouts intense, and freedoms preserved. Then I went, and on the front page, awesome quote, on the front page, you guys were selling Skull Smash, which is an ammonia inhalant, not for sissies and shouldn't be on your skin. Then I went to the IG, and you had a picture of a guy named The Animal who was competing in a deadlift contest. And so the point I'm getting at it is I don't really want to spend time with these people, but they should have the right to exist. You see what I'm saying? Every group of people should have their own little identity. And then Governor Murphy, let's be honest, she should be investing this as a tourist attraction. What other creatures are we going to remove from their natural environment? What's next? Are we going to start beaching whales or sending gay twinks to the hood? You know, we have protected landscapes in this world. You know, we got protected environments for natural creatures, for Indians. And so I just think that your gym should be a protected class for guineas who like doing steroids. That's what I think. All right. Oh, wait, I had one more joke about you guys, then I'll move into my act. You guys wrote a book about, It was two dumb gym owners. I'll be honest, I listen to you guys, you're not dumb, but I do think we do need a little bit more stupid in the world. And what I mean by that is sometimes some of these decisions are stupid. It's like, wait a second, this is my gym and you're telling me I can't open it? And wait, you're not going to tell me when I can reopen it? Wait, so you're just telling me I can't have my business? Like, that doesn't make sense. It's my business. And that almost takes like a level of stupid to just be like, wait, this is mine. It's not yours. I built it from scratch. And now you're just going to take it from me? You know what I mean? That's what we need in the world. We need people like you. They're just going to go, I don't care if there's kids. You just go, fuck no. That's what our country was built on. We had founding fathers. They turned to England and they said, fuck you and your tea. I'm not paying taxes. And then you got people like Governor Murphy who are preaching compliance. That's not what our country's about. When did our country's not founded on compliance? That's not what this thing was built on. It's built on fuck you. That's what it was built on. All right, so I'm going to make a couple serious comments here, and then I'm going to move on to some more jokes. I do think one of the things that I really was uncomfortable with throughout the entire Corona experience was there was an element of divide and conquer. And I felt like I was lucky. I'm a podcaster. I don't have to leave my couch to do my job. I could sleep on the couch, wake up, turn on the mics. It doesn't matter. Like, that's the way I live. But I really felt bad. You got people that are in restaurants. There are people who have businesses like yours. You got your gym. And it was divide and conquer, where the people that had like their office jobs were pretty content to go, okay, this is all for our safety. But were we contributing our income for the people they told them that they couldn't go to work? You know what I mean? It was like government just started picking off a wide group of our society, just telling them they couldn't have their businesses, they couldn't have their jobs. And for the most part, we didn't protest. We didn't go burn governor houses. You know what I mean? They literally stripped people of their businesses. And for the most part, the most of the country was compliant, and they just let them do that. And I think that's why these moments are so important, for us to actually get together and just being, no, you can't do that. And then structurally, the issue here is that there's no penalty for being wrong. Like, they get to overexert their authority. And when you go to court for a year, for 2 years, do they refund you your lawyer costs? Do they pay you what you could have been doing to grow your business during all that time that you wasted fighting them? Do the governors lose their job for breaking the law and closing you out of your own business? Imagine if I showed up and I just sealed up your business tomorrow because I said that I had a right of way on that road, and then it turned out I didn't. I'd go to jail for that. You can't just do that to people. But governors, the government, they can overexert their authority. There's no penalty for being wrong. And I really think that's the importance of us getting together. And like I said, just being like, fuck no, we're not living in that world. It can't happen. All right, now to try and turn it back to some jokes. Got a little intense there. But it is nice that the Corona thing is finally seemingly over. It's nice that we finally get to move on from that. And I think one of the worst parts, or one of the most annoying things to this whole thing, was wearing masks. I don't know about you guys, never liked wearing the mask. There's one place, though, that I do hope that they continue the mask wearing, and that's CVS, because it's got to be the most awkward place for running into people you know. Like, I live in the town I grew up in. Last time I was at the CVS, I ran into an ex-girlfriend of mine. I'm in one of the aisleways. She's like, hey, what are you up to? I looked at my hand and I'm like, I'm just buying this hemorrhoid cream. I'm like, you ever buy hemorrhoid cream? She's like, no. And I'm like, yeah, me neither. I was just in this aisleway for those really big condoms. I knew when they were finally going to walk back the Corona thing. This was the exact moment. I followed the news. I knew that it was over at this exact moment. It's when scientists figured out that Viagra cures the coronavirus. Did any of you guys see that one? At one point, they found out that Viagra cures the coronavirus. And when I saw that, my first thought was, how cool is the doctor that figured that one out? You know, some guy just turned to his nurse. He's like, hey, I've got an idea. He's like, no, just hear me out here. I already took it. I think you'd like it. Then they found out that marijuana works. I don't know if you guys saw that one. So basically, the newest science is just everything but the vaccine works. That's what they figured out. You can basically walk into your pharmacy and you're like, hey, you got anything for horses? You got anything for malaria? And if they're like, no, you're like, that's all right. I'll just smoke weed. That's what I'll do. I I just think it's so incredible that people have been masking, they've been getting boosted, and apparently if you were just smoking weed and having sex, you were good. I feel like the lesson from God here was just, hey, be cool. I feel like that's what society was supposed to learn. I think now we got, this is crazy, the way that they unwound the COVID policy. Did you guys see this? At one point, the CDC, they said it was COVID fatigue. That's what they finally did to get rid of this. And how fun of a meeting must that have been, where one guy's like, hey, I think we should, keep following the science and saving lives. And someone else is like, yeah, I think they're over it. I think they're good. We're moving on. It's okay. And now we got the newest news from this past week. Do you guys see the conversation about the truth minister? That's a new thing. They're gonna have a truth minister. So I was looking up her qualifications, and apparently she wrote the book How to Be a Woman Online. That's what qualifies her for being the minister of truth, is that she wrote a guidebook that nobody needs. No one was dying. Was there some widespread death of women being online I don't know about? That's like if I wrote the book of how to not get killed by your neighbor. And they're like, man, this guy saved the world. This is what we need. This guy should be in charge of all information moving forward. Now the biggest thing is inflation. We're all dealing with inflation. And I think the one thing that might be worse than inflation is the businesses that try and pretend like there isn't inflation. Like I read that Doritos bags, they're putting 5 less chips into every single bag. Which at that point, that's just a gust of wind. That's all that is. It's like the Dorito bag just farts in your face and you're like, man, I'm still hungry. All right, I'll tell a couple more. I've been hitting the dating apps a little bit. I don't know if you guys are doing that out in Jersey. I've noticed one of the big things I'm seeing a lot on the dating apps is women, they all say like they like taking nice vacations. That's like a big thing. Everyone like in their profiles are all like, I like taking nice vacations. And when I saw that, I was kind of like, I would like nice vacations if other people paid for it too. You know what I mean? It's not hard liking nice things that other people pay for, which is why, you guys remember this past summer when that guy Brian Landry killed his girlfriend on a hike? You guys remember that? When I saw that, I was like, that's what we need in the world. That's good. I was like, this is the equalizer. Like, I would actually like it if so many men started killing their girlfriends on vacation that wanting to take a vacation just became a red flag. You turn to your chick, you're like, hey, you want to take a trip? She's like, what the hell did you just say to me? We're going to stay home and play Xbox where it's safe. That's what we're going to do. You call your drug dealer, we're staying in. Here's another one I've noticed. I've noticed a lot of women, they started putting like their Instagram handle like into their dating profile, which is also nice because now when you don't match with them, you can still be a part of their lives. It's great when I'm alone on the weekend, I can see what Becky did. If you guys don't know her, she's an NYU theater major with big dreams and an even greater ass. And now, thanks to Instagram, I don't have to go to the NYU dorms with binoculars to see when her and her friends go on these nice weekend adventures. I almost feel like we've gone a little bit too far with the Instagram thing. Like people have become almost like too good looking. You know, like I get intimidated. Like I almost feel like this was supposed to be a country founded by ugly people for ugly people. Like I was looking at a picture of George Washington's wife, Martha Washington, and she looks like somebody shaved a sheep. And it's like George founded this country to live freely with that sheep wife of his. Now everyone's getting their teeth whitened and I heard this, most kids, when they ask them what they want to be when they're older, most kids say they want to be influencers. That's like the job most kids want to do. And when I saw that, I was just thinking, can you imagine what job fairs must look like now? You walk up to someone, you're like, hey man, how'd you do it? He's like, yeah, I just put some Mentos inside my asshole. That's what I did. I had someone else put Diet Coke and paint in there and I shat out a mural. You can follow me on Instagram. My name is @Shatson-Pollock. Or like I was thinking, do you guys remember when you had to sit down with that high school guidance counselor? Yeah? Are you guys good with like another 5 minutes of jokes? I think we're doing food in a bit. Is everyone on board? All right. I don't want to hold everyone too long. The other one is, you guys remember that moment? Guidance counselor? You guys remember that, sitting down with the guidance counselor? What was the question that was asked? It was, what are your plans when you leave here? So I was thinking like hot high school cheerleader, sitting there with the guidance counselor, asked the question, and she's like, I don't know, I figured I'd just go on Instagram and stay good looking. Guys like, you got a backup plan? She's like, yes, OnlyFans. Guy's like, what's that? She's like, you post nudes. He's like, you should totally do that. That's a great idea. I'm going to start recommending that to everybody. I got to be honest, I look back at school and like, I'm like still mad at school because they kind of convinced me I was dumb. And it turns out most of it was just useless information. Like I remember we spent years in like science classes. There's only one thing I remember from all the science classes. It's frozen tundra and it's never once come up in my life. Right? Like I've never been out in the Arctic with some lady. We get off a plane and she's like, this ground's real tough. And I'm like, well, that's frozen tundra, my dear. Just one of 7 climatic classifications. Or like chemistry. Anyone in here a chemist? There's like 70 of us here. Any of you guys a chemist? Why the fuck do they teach us chemistry? Why would they do that to us? Like they tortured us all with this topic that none of us were ever going to need in our entire lives. And I think their thought is it's exposure. They're going to expose us to it. Some of us might turn out to like it. But to me, chemistry, those lines and circles, it's like looking at a dude's butthole. It really only takes one look to be like, yeah, I don't think that's for me. Now, if you like it, you can do all of it that you want. I'm pro-freedom. I'm just saying, it's got, you know what I mean? It doesn't. And then here's the worst part. I feel like it takes a long time before you realize you didn't need your education. You know, like it took me 24 years. You can't return it. I can't find my second grade teacher kicking her door and just be like, do you have any idea how much recess we could have had? It could have been nothing but recess while our knees worked. And second grade was the exact moment I figured out it was a scam. It was the exact moment, I remember it, when they started teaching us cursive. And they started putting the cursive on the board, and I remember looking at it, and I'm just like, yeah, I've got perfectly good letters right here. I don't need your on-acid letters that don't respect other letters' personal space. I don't need that. The only good news with school now is I recently found out that I might be able to go back and get a scholarship playing women's sports. I think I can make a good female wrestler. I do. And what the most amazing thing about all that is apparently, and I was surprised by this, they let you keep your dick. I thought that was surprising. And so I went and I looked it up and like I couldn't really see it, which I was like, this is disappointing. This would have been way funnier if she just had the world's biggest cock. You know what I mean? Like if it just floated behind her, looked like a propeller. Or it was like floating at the surface, looked like a fin. They just played the Jaws music. Now, I think the only reason that people are weird about this topic is because it's new technology. I think that's it. I think this is a new thing. Like, imagine if there was a box. You could walk into the box and walk out the other gender. Just go in, walk back out the other gender. I would do that every Tuesday. That's my life. Are you kidding me? You just become a lady, go to a lesbian bar, have 18 orgasms and cry in some lady's arms. You don't have plans on the weekend? You can just go on a date and be like, wait, I can just complain about my job and you'll pay for this? Now, what I found most incredible about the entire incident is that when this lady was competing as a man, do you guys know what her position was in the rankings? She was number 496 in men's, right? Then she switched over to women's and she was number 1, which is really just a reminder that female athletes are just people that aren't good at their jobs. It's just a group of people that because the actual people aren't there, you know? It's like if you went to the fair and they had midget firefighters, it's great for a mock fire. But if there's a real fire, you're going to be like, I think we need some actual fire people. That one's weirded out a bunch of audiences. You guys aren't the only ones who are like, hey, I think he took that one too far. I think really one of the biggest problems we have in this country is that like we just let stupid linger. Like I feel like there's things that go on in the world that are stupid and we just don't correct them. Like do you guys remember it was like even 2 summers back, there was that forest fire in California because of a gender reveal party. You guys remember that? You guys remember when that happened? And that's all of our fault because gender reveal parties shouldn't exist. They shouldn't. You know why? They're stupid. And they're stupid because there's no stakes. We're celebrating if it's a boy or girl. If beforehand you told me, hey, if it's a girl, we're getting an abortion, I'm like, all right, this is a party. Let's do it. I'll put $1,000 on girl. This is... Let's get this done. All right, I do want to close on a positive note, which is, thank you, sir. Dude, we got a full buffet going on in the back. Thank you so much for having me. Let's celebrate freedom. Let's make sure they don't bring back those masks. Let's take some steroids. Let's work out in the gym. Have a good one, everybody.
Thank you. Give it up for Robbie.